Hello friends, new or old, because I have two new friends. Hi guys and welcome. I'm Jillian, and my laptop is currently balancing on A Journey to the Center of the Earth, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister, The Da Vinci Code, a book I read in my aesthetic literacy education class, my conducting textbook, and a coffee table book about Broadway shows. I actually filmed this video yesterday, and it didn't save because my laptop hates me. So what I'm going to be doing is going through my past projects, which there aren't a lot of, talking about them a little bit and telling you what my kind of current little baby projects are, which are more representative of the sewing that I have been doing like throughout my life. Because I filmed this yesterday, they're all in a mess now, and so they're like not in the right order. So I'll talk more about this in my video next week about how I got into sewing, but I got my first sewing machine when I was 10 years old. It's my first, it's the oldest sewing machine I have. And the first thing I ever made with much help from my mother was this shirt with a little like cowl neck. Is this the front or the back? This is the back. This is the front. It has like pins in it still, like safety pins, not like it's pinned, like it literally is safety pinned. The sleeves have this fun fabric on it. It's funny, I actually filmed this video yesterday, and I was wearing a blazer that is literally a 3/4 sleeve length blazer that is this color, and it was kind of amusing. This is also knit, so I don't know, and it's machine sewed, and I don't know how my mother did that, but she did. But I picked out the pattern, I kind of helped her with it, but it was a lot of like just her doing it because I was like 10, 11 years old. But I loved Project Runway growing up, so I went to Mood, obviously, to get some fabric because, like, it's an experience. It's not an experience I ever want to relive, but it's an experience. And I got this, like, purple fabric. I honestly think that these are, like, bed sheets or curtain fabrics. This is definitely a curtain fabric. This is definitely not meant to be, like, an overlay skirt like this. This is literally safety pin, too, because I needed to cut it to give it the amount of, like, flounce that I needed to make a circle skirt. My justification for making this skirt was actually that I was in the musical Little Mermaid in high school, and my school, one of the shows we did was a junior production, so it's like a shorter show that we would perform at the elementary school, so we call it a road show. And it was completely student done, student directed, costumed, etc. And so I made my costume for that show, and I just wore like a gray tank top with this and made a little like fish fin thing on my head. It was kind of a mess. Actually, I used this fabric transition. Again, I will talk more about this next week, but my senior year, I got to costume the road show, and the show was Beauty and the Beast. That was a really frustrating show to costume because of the time period the show set in, which is kind of debated, but I always put it as like early 19th century France. But I had to do that with people's own clothing, and no one really listened to me. I kind of was going for a very earth tone vibe because I felt like it would contrast with Belle's blue and like the shinier costumes of the Beast Castle, but like I said, no one really listened. Anyway, so I made several of the Enchanted Object costumes, but I played Babette, the feather duster. I just bought this tank top, and I glued feathers onto it, and these feathers are actually the feathers that fell off of my skirt. The general design of the skirt, it's kind of like a trumpet gown, but the trumpet is feathers because she's a feather duster, and I definitely wanted to play into that shape, but I needed to be able to do the kick line in Be Our Guest. My solution for that was to make a black circle skirt. I was making my costume and like 4 other people's costumes, and my mom was helping me because there were 60 people in this cast, and I was helping with accessories for like all of the utensils and Be Our Guest, etc. Anyway, I made a circle skirt, and I wore a pencil skirt over it to give that trumpet effect, but I was able to take the pencil skirt off for Be Our Guest. Oh yeah, also, I pinned feather boas to the bottom of it. And it served its purpose, but they shed everywhere. My senior year, my school started this thing called the AP experience, where after your AP exams, you don't need to go to your AP classes as long as you do an outside project. But I had to put in 4 hours of work on an assignment for about 4 weeks. And then during finals, we presented what we did. So I managed to convince my English teacher, who was my mentor for the project, to let me design costumes. So I costumed the musical Zombie Prom. The show is an off-Broadway musical from 1986, and it flopped off-Broadway, but it's like your stereotypical campy poodle skirts and saddle shoes 50s musical that's like making fun of Grease and Crybaby and all those types of shows. So these are the 4 boys. These are 3 of the girls. This is the main girl, which we'll cut back to why she is 2, and then this is the adults. I designed a tearaway dress for her. I also tasked myself with designing a trick dress. The issue with the trick dress, though, is I didn't want to just do, like, magnets, because I didn't want to risk her dress, like, coming off during the choreography of the opening number. Basically, I do want to remake this costume. I think that it would be really cool, and you'll see why I want to remake it in a second. But she sings a song about how her boyfriend is dead. Spoiler alert, he comes back to life. The musical is called Zombie Prom. In the very next scene, her friends are like, there's Toffee dressed in black again, just as she's been wearing for the last 3 weeks, even though the scene before was supposed to be the same day, and she wasn't wearing black because it wasn't until that scene changed that she had time to change her costume. So I want to figure out a way for her to do a change on stage during the 12 seconds that she has, or whatever it is. I'd have to double check Flagrante's mini monologue. So basically the way that this was set up, these were the sleeves, this was the front, and it was all snaps. That's how I worked this out. Everything was done with snaps. I would also like to disclaim that I'd only ever seen magnets explicitly used in one musical. I literally spent hours researching trick dress, tearaway dress, quick change costume, how to rig a dress for a quick change. I could not find any information. So I basically came up with this design all on my own. Something I will talk about again in next week's video is how I never learned how to work with patterns. So I was kind of used to just making it up. So this was the top, it closed in front. Clearly the end is not finished. This was basically just supposed to be a functioning mock-up to show what my intention was. Basically the idea was you take these snaps off, throw that back, and pull this down, and now you have a black top. This was also designed to be like a pinafore I wore. You'll see in the video I have a shirt on underneath it. This was the skirt that I designed. I designed it, basically it was a 3-panel circle skirt. So you have 1 yellow panel, 1 black panel, and then 1 panel that's 2-sided. It's very bulky. And this is just a single layer of cotton. So it's not even a particularly bulky fabric. I mean, obviously I definitely could have cut a lot of this off. But like I said, functioning mock-up rather than a finished product. It would be really interesting to try to remake this costume and try different methods to see what could actually work. So far, so great. I've just spent 20 minutes explaining my past projects, one of which took 10 minutes, so goodness knows what that's going to be like to edit. But now we're going to get into my kind of works in progress, which are just little projects. So this is just a little pleated black skirt. The only issue is that it's a little big on me, so I just need to put a little tuck in it. This next dress that I have here is a kind of peplum pencil skirt type dress, if you can see that. I love this dress. It's a very stretchy material, which I'm not sure I love. The idea in holding on to this was to actually create a pattern off of it, which I've never done before, so I'll probably catalog that experience. The next thing you would have seen if you saw my last video is this red peplum shirt. I figured I would try my hand at taking this in. The next project I also found while cleaning out my room. So basically, I have this poncho shirt that it was my sister's, and then I got it from her, and I loved it. But what I realized is this would make a really cute cape. That's basically what it is, right? So I figured I would leave the top 2 buttons on it so I can close it a little bit. And then leave it just as a cape to wear. It doesn't look like a historically accurate cape, but it could it gives off those vibes with the right hairstyle. The next thing is this dress that I really like, but I realized that I like the top. It's very nautical and whatnot, and it has a fun crisscross back. So what I figured I could do is make it into a shirt and just like cut off, maybe save this material for something, but cut off at the waistline and then just kind of hem it. There's a stain here that I'd want to like hem away if I could. And if not, it was like a $20 dress that I bought like 6 years ago, so I'll just put it in scrap fabric and like repurpose it. This is another dress that I bought a while ago and I loved in high school, but I feel like it's just gone stretchy over the years and the top doesn't fit me quite right, so I figured what I could do is cut off the top and make a little skirt. And I know I have some extra bias tape right now, so I might just put that at the top. This is like my wannabe goth aesthetic dress. The sleeve is just dripping, so I just need to repair that, but I've been really lazy about it. And finally, I have a little pinafore dress I bought on Black Friday last year. It fits me fine. The only thing is, again, because I'm really short, clearly you could see the waistline versus where my waist is. It's a heavier fabric, so I haven't been wearing it just because it's like a fall winter garment, but all I need to do is just move the buttons up a little bit so that it sits a little bit better on me. So those are my past sewing projects, current works in progress. And then of course I'm still working on my Victorian corset and I'm starting to design. I have a few ideas in mind and I might let you guys know about some of them. So I'll see you next week. Bye guys. Hi guys, Jillian here. Welcome friends, new and old, and I have 2 new friends, so hello and welcome. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, Jillian here. Hello friends, Jillian here. I'm a minute into this video and I haven't said anything productive, which I have no excuse for because I was never really a sewing machine whiz anyway, so it's not like, oh well, I didn't have my machine so I couldn't sew. Why I stopped sewing going into college. Okay. So let's get started. Righto. Okay. So, this like shiny beaded nonsense. I went up to him afterward and I was like, so like the enchanted objects, and he's like, yes. I mean, it's Disney, so does the actual time period really matter? No. Why is it that all teenage boys just own like a pair of joggers and a pair of basketball shorts and a pair of jeans that they only wear when their mom forces them to? Like, is that just me or is that a universal experience? Okay. Why am I don't remember. Also, love how it's not even sewn closed, it's just pin closed. Also, this is the salvage. It was actually really cute though. While we were on tour, one of the girls picked up the feathers that had fallen off and waved them at me during bows, and I almost started crying. Okay. This is the first of 2 times I designed a peplum suit for a woman, and I want to make one. Like, I literally was on my English teacher's Twitter yesterday trying to figure out how to download this video, praying I didn't like accidentally like something from 4 years ago. English teachers are weird, man. Okay, well, besides the fact this waistband like doesn't fit me, which I'm very confused about because I didn't think I lost weight since high school, but so I'm filming this on Tuesday, August 25th. I still need to get like a small hair rat or something to actually do a proper Edwardian hairstyle with because my hair does not floof. Oh, I wore it on Christmas last year. That's what I did. And finally, we have a really interesting assignment. You know what? I'm going to stop the video here to make sure that this is saving.